Great start to the pop-up live tonight. Anyway, hello everybody. I hope you all had a splendid Christmas and a happy New Year to you. Well, for the next few days anyway. Why are we doing a pop-up live tonight? Wow. As you may have seen on the Facebook feed, I popped in to see Mr. Farmer today, and he gave me this. It's the ICM 148 scale Handley Page Hampden. Oh my goodness me. Who would have ever thought we would get a 48 scale kit of a Hampden? Well, we've got one now. And I've only opened it up in as much as opened the box up, but I haven't actually been in and started going through all the frames and sprues and runners. So that's what we're going to do right now. So this is a genuine unboxing, in as much as I really haven't had the chance to have a good look at what's going on at the moment. So here we go, the first bag, and I have to say, that's just, no, I don't need to do that because they should be yeah, there we go. So, being ICM, it is all beautifully and cleanly molded. And we'll, sorry, I've got bits sliding all over the place here. So, first of all, and we'll do a camera zoom in for this. We are going to have to zoom in. Is, you can see there, it has the most exquisite recessed panel lines and rivet detail. Now, there will be people who will complain that the rivets should be they should be raised rather than recessed. I'm not going to be one of those people because I prefer it this way, quite frankly. It is absolutely top dollar, the detail and the sharpness of the detail. If we just have a quick look at the engine nacelle there, it is lovely, absolutely lovely. So, oops, easy. Zoom out, zooms out, zooms out, zooms out. So there we have the upper and lower wings, and that's starboard side. Then we have the upper and lower wings port side, and you'll notice that the flaps are separate as well, separate control surfaces, so very nicely done. We've got the the vertical tail surfaces there as well. Yeah, it honestly, it's, the plastic has a little bit of a matte texture to it, but frankly, I'm not going to worry about that. It looks absolutely stunning. Oops. And then we have the fuselage here again. I'll just zoom in rather than change cameras. Again, it has beautifully recessed panel line and rivet detail. It's going to look spectacular when it's painted up. But yeah, we've got some of the innards there as well. So I am really looking forward to cracking on with this. In fact, I've got to crack on with this because the hobby company, who we're very grateful to for this sample, will want one for display this year. In fact, they'll probably want several. So we are going to be cracking on with this over the next few days. We have a couple of, oops, come in. We've got some clear parts here, all bagged up separately, but this looks curious. Let's get them out of the way. Like I say, this is a genuine unboxing, and as much as I haven't had a chance to, oh, here we go. So we've got the windscreen, we've got the nose, and we've got the side panels as well there. So beautifully put together this. I mean, when you think, you know, when you think that ICM are based in Ukraine, I know some of their manufacturing's been moved elsewhere, but this is just a phenomenal effort from them. I will catch up with your comments in a moment, but I just wanted to get on with the unboxing. So there's very little chance of stuff getting scuffed and broken here. What have we got here? We've got parts. That's the upper section of the nose. We've got parts for the gondola as well, and more of the cockpit, and more. Oops, let's get it on camera. And we've got the lights and everything there. So yep, that looks beautifully clear as well. Really, no distortion whatsoever. So top marks ICM. Let's get that out of the way. Don't need that bag anymore. Then we have quite a few sprues here which are duplicates. So let's open this one up first of all. So we have a couple of sprues here which have all the bombs on. Yeah, these are effectively 3 sprues that are duplicated. So actually, bear with. I'm just going to go into OBS for a second, and we are going to workbench camera. I'm going to try and open that out a bit more. There we go. So we've got various different bombs here. We've got the sway braces / crutches. Beautifully done. It's all very sharp, and be interesting to know whether this carries over from any of the other kits or whether this is unique to the Hampden. But it looks to be a kind of I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me, this looks to be a kind of generic British and Commonwealth bomb set. Yeah, I mean, some of the detail touches on these are absolutely exquisite, and we will be photographing this and putting images up later on for you. So yeah, so you get three duplicates of that sprue. Let's get that out of the way. Then we have, do you know what, sorry, I'm going to bit Michael Caine there for a minute, but there is part of me at the moment still can't believe that I'm actually unboxing a 48 scale Handley Page Hampden. Exciting times, folks. So what have we got here? We've got the 2 duplicate sprues for the engines, top marks to ICM for doing the intake ring as a single piece. In fact, there are the flaps. There is the inner part of the intake, and there is the external part of the intake. So no horrible kind of seam lines to deal with going across, going across areas like that. The engines look absolutely amazing. And again, some of the detail touches on these are pretty exquisite. I have noticed on the intakes here where they're molded in 2 halves, a little bit of a sink mark on the on there where the plastic kind of fattens out, but that's why we have super glue and talcum powder, quite frankly. Yeah, so that's a duplicate sprue there. So again, there's your prop, mass balances, engine panels, undercarriage. Honestly, it just looks so sharp. I'm not going to say Tamiya like, because that's a lazy cliche to go down, but it's not far off, folks. It's pretty good stuff. The engines are molded in fronts and backs, but that's not an issue. Oh, we've got an errant part there, so we better pop that into the box before we lose it. And then here is a singular sprue on its own. Oops, there we go, that's better. Singular sprue on its own, which are the tail surfaces, more bits of the cockpit. We've got throttle quadrants there, control yoke, pitot tube, got the guns. Guns are okay. They're a little bit basic, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Oxygen bottles. Yeah, absolutely. Got more of the cockpit there. It's pretty nice. I really can't wait to get started on this, and I may even do some preliminary work on it this evening. I know I've got that Tamiya motorbike to finish off, but it's a 48 scale Hampden, for goodness sake. Come on, ICM, do a whirlwind, make me really happy. And then we have the decal sheet. So we've got the decal sheet here, which looks to be litho printed. It certainly looks to be usable. Some of the colors are a little bit wishy-washy, but to be honest with you, roundels, I can easily source them from my spare decal bank here, so I'm not going to worry about that. Or if you are of the persuasion, you can pretty much mask and spray all these main markings. But the key thing is the proportions are all right. And so many times you see kit companies do British markings, RAF markings from the Second World War, and they just get the proportions all wrong. These are perfect. These are absolutely perfect. Yeah, the grey of the codes is a bit washed out, so that might be an area where some people may wish to go in there and either make their own masks or source external decals for it. But you get some bits and pieces for the interior there, for the instrument panel, radio, console. Quite a bit of stenciling as well. Yeah, the Hampden wasn't festooned with stenciling, but it certainly did have its fair share. And again, top marks to ICM for picking out little things like the differences between the two numerals here as well. So yeah, that's usable. That's usable. What schemes do we have? And I've already spotted the scheme I want to do, but let's go through the instructions here. So quite a few bits on this bomb weapon sprue that aren't needed for this particular boxing. So that does make me think, is this from a generic set? I will play catch up with your comments in a moment. Quite a bit of interior stuff going on there. In fact, I'm just going to go and grab the fuselage sprues, because there's quite a bit of internal stringer detail molded to the inside of the cockpit and the fuselage there. So again, top marks ICM. So quite a bit of stuff going on in the cockpit there. Let's zoom in a bit. Some extra work to do, some drilling out. Looks to be a lot of detail here. This is absolutely magnificent stuff from ICM. Additional stringers there, oxygen bottles, gun magazines. Oh my goodness me, we're still putting the interior together here. Then we suddenly start putting the fuselage halves together, which is when I think things will start to speed up a bit. And yep, you can separate bomb bay doors, so you can pose them open or closed. And like I say, all the control surfaces are separate, so you can deflect them at your will. And here we are putting the engines together. Nice touches here, like the fact that the tail surfaces fall on a natural panel break. So excellent stuff, ICM. Yeah, here we are putting the engines together. Yeah, so the cowl, the side panels to the cowls are separate. So in theory, you could pose them open to to show off the engines if you wish. And here we are with the final final assembly, looking like a Hampden now. And also there are some spars so that it will lock into the fuselage. Again, very, very nice touch, ICM. They include canopy masts as well. God bless you, which is brilliant stuff. And no, sorry, they don't include masks. They include templates. I'd correct myself there, but they include templates so that you can cut your own mask. So that's a very nice touch. I'm just going to double check the box that there's nothing missing. No, they don't supply canopy masks, so that's a nice touch. And then we have the color schemes, which we'll zoom out a bit so we get a better look at them. We've got one there, dark green, dark earth, black undersides, early scheme. Then we have one there in dark green, dark earth and black with A1 roundels on the upper wings, but A roundels on the fuselage. Here's the one I'll be doing, which is dark green, dark earth and black or night, but with B-type roundels on the fuselage, because I love those. I love those schemes. And then we have this one, which was from a development unit, dark green, dark earth, yellow undersides, and with underwing roundels as well. So, yeah. So, like I say, we will be popping it into the photo booth over there and taking some photographs for later. But I am super impressed with this. It's a 48 scale Hampden, for goodness sake. I mean, who would have ever thought we'd see one of those, see a kit of that in our lifetimes? But there we go. Let's play catch up with the comments, shall we? So we're going to say a big hello to Captain Magenta. He says, now the question is, has JM overdone the sherry and set this up by accident? No, I haven't had any sherry this Christmas, actually, and I haven't had anything to drink yet, but there will be ghost stories after this, so maybe a beer and a bump involved. Nick Brown says, ooh, pop-up live. Gone a bit Kenneth Williams there. Let's see what fun we should have this evening. Phil says, just sat down for dinner and the alert came through. Good evening, everyone. Travis says, surprised morning all. Damien Mullen just says, hello. Paul Voyle just says, ooh, hello. Dougal McWoogle says, what? Wait, what? On a Monday? Yeah, we are doing one on a Monday. Paul Brown says, good evening all. Sarah Jane says, good evening. Simon James Colley says, hi. Anyway, let's just scrolls down. There we go. Dave Fleming says, I do hope they consider a downscaling. That would be nice, Dave, because what have we got? We've really got the Airfix kit, really. I know there's been some kind of like short run or medium run kits, but I'm with you. I think that would be a good move, actually. So hello to Go For It Painting. Scrolls up. Scrolls down. Hobby Time. Dave Swindle. Bruce Bell. Hello, Bruce. Richard Graham. Weapons sprue. Here we go. Weapons sprues are from ICM 148th World War II British armament set. Thank you, Richard. I did wonder, but thanks for the clarification. And what else? Dave Fleming planting a seed here. He says, if it's a generic set, I wonder what they have planned. Maybe a Whitley. Wouldn't say no. And Captain Magenta says, ICM are really knocking it out of the park at the moment. I agree. I absolutely agree. Mike Williams makes a very good observation. He says, in my experience, ICM wing spars allow the wings to be painted separately from the fuselage and slotted into place almost last minute. This looks good. Yep. And Dave Swindle does remind me that the other Hampden was done by Vallon and AZ. And here we go. Richard Graham says, the large object on the weapons sprue is a 1,500-pound mine, not mentioned in the instructions. The RAF sea mining campaign was extremely successful by Hampdens in disrupting German naval movements. I get the feeling that ICM, do you know what? They are going to do more boxings of this kit. That's their modus operandi. So I would not be surprised if they include a coastal command boxing. Let's put it that way. This one is mostly Royal Air Force, kind of like home counties, so to speak. You know, early war. I think there's going to be another boxing of this. I think we can be fairly sure of that. And that's it. I honestly am going to keep it mercifully short tonight because, quite frankly, I'm hungry. All I've had today is a digestive biscuit and a mince pie at Mr. Farmer's. Thank you, Mr. Farmer. So we'll get some photographs done of this, and we'll try and upload them tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow. But exciting times, folks. I really can't believe I'm gonna, at some stage in the next week, next couple of days actually, I'm gonna sit down and build a 48 scale Hampden. So ICM, if you're watching, I wouldn't say no to a 48 scale battle, quite frankly, and a whirlwind, please. But yeah, I can see ICM doing a battle because color schemes galore on that one. And yeah, they could milk that in different variants, 2-seat trainers. Yeah, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. Anyway, so cheers, ICM. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. And all the best for 2026. Difficult times, I know, but as always, our thoughts are with you. Fingers crossed. We'll be back for a Sunday service in the new year at some stage. Just going to play catch up on a couple of comments here. Hobby Time says they're doing the torpedo Hampden. Excellent, that's good. Mike Williams says, wonder if they'll modify the molds for a Hereford. In order to do a Hereford, they'd have to do new wing sprues, but it's not. But this is the point: is the wings are all on separate sprues, separate runners, frames, call them what you will. So I don't want to say all they have to do because it makes it sound a bit churlish, but it would be a case of tooling up new upper and lower wings. Obviously engine pods as well, but I would say the way they've broken this down, my kind of impression is it would be doable. If you were going to do it, this is the way you would. So it, not saying that they are going to do a Hereford, but I can see how it would be possible. So good shout, Mike. I like that. And Captain Magenta says, Coastal Command scheme, you say? Ding dong. Absolutely. So like I say, I'll be doing mine in the Phony War camouflage with the Type B roundels. there is another kit residing at Mr. Farmer's, which hopefully will be winging its way to Mr. Mountain of this parish. So if you're watching, Drew, there is a Hampden. Andy's got a Hampden. He may drop it round to you, or perhaps we'll just get it in the post. But there we go. That's it, folks. Honestly, I'm not gonna drag this on tonight like I usually do. Having said that, I'm going to drag it on a bit because I have been working on my Tamiya Super Leggera. I can't remember what it's called now. Ducati. I've been working on that. Whoops, Daisy dropped something on the floor. I've been working on that. That is an education in as much as, because I don't build that many motorbikes, and the motorbike modelers out there will say, oh, that's obvious. You're having to kind of like construct and then paint before you can get on to the next bit and the next bit. And honestly, it is an education, because I think us tank and aircraft modelers, and to some extent ship modelers, we're used to kind of like just gluing stuff together and kind of blazing away. Motorbikes, though, you can't do that. And so it is an education, but it also feels like a completely new hobby to me, because I am learning or relearning. Well, I'm learning new skills. So it's similar to what I build, but it's a whole new experience. And this is why I'm always saying, get out of your comfort zone, build something you wouldn't normally do, because it's actually really, really, really quite rewarding. So let's just have a quick look on the comments. Dave Fleming, hello Dave. He says the rear fuselage of the RAF Museum aircraft is originally from a Hereford. And Simon Lewis says subtitles couldn't do Mr. Mountain, it's Mr. Mountain. Yeah, fair enough. And and as Dave Flares says, Simon Lewis, have you met Drew? Tall bloke. I mean, Dave and I are tall. We're over 6 foot, but Drew's about 6'4". Yeah. Anyway, but anyway, that's it, folks. I am gonna call time tonight because I really don't want to bore you senseless. Just to say, as ever, thank you so much for your support this year, and indeed your support over the last couple of years, especially after the old. So really, really grateful to you all. We'll be back in the new year with a brand new season of the Sunday service. So until then, you lot stay out of trouble. I know you people. And so stay out of trouble, and we'll see you in the new year. So take care and see you in 2026. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.